In this tutorial, we're going to go over how we can set up our custom domain using GoDaddy in Membervault. In step 1, the first thing that you need to do is include your full domain that you will be using, including the subdomain. So in this example right here, mydomain.com is the root domain and courses is the subdomain. So I'm going to be using www.testlaunches.com. I cannot just put testlaunches.com and think that that's going to work. I have to put either www or I have to put a different word like courses or something right here for the subdomain. So I'm going to go ahead and click on continue to step 2. All right, Membervault has accepted that. Now it shows that we can go on to step 2. So what we're going to do here, this is the part that a lot of people get hung up on, is we're going to add the first CNAME record. So we have the name and we have the value. Depending on which platform you're using, it might have a different name for name and value. We are going to highlight for the first option right here all the way up to the subdomain. Okay, so I have www. If you're using something like courses, then you would highlight all the way up to courses and you're going to click copy. Okay, this is all we're going to do. Do not highlight and copy the whole thing. So we're going to go over to GoDaddy and we are going to click on our domain and scroll all the way down and we're going to click on Manage DNS. All right, so we have our DNS records right here and we're going to go ahead and add our first CNAME record. So we're going to click on Add, and for the type we're going to select CNAME, and then in the host is where we are going to put what we copied right here for the name field in Membervault. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this in there. And then for the points to, that's where we're going to put the next line, which is the value. Now for the value, we're going to highlight and copy the whole thing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and copy this. And then we're going to go over to GoDaddy and we're going to paste it in the points to and click Save. Okay, so now if this worked, we should be able to go on to step 3. And they've included this link here to let us know if it's working. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh the page. And it's going to take a few minutes. And it says right here, please allow at least 2 hours for it to be validated. It may take up to 24 hours. It normally only takes a few minutes. I would give it about 30 minutes. And if it hasn't changed, I would think that something might be wrong. We're going to go ahead and refresh this page. And it still says pending validation. But what we can do is click on this link to see if it's set up correctly. So right here we have this green check mark. So I know that it has been set up correctly. We just simply need to wait for it to finish propagating. So as long as we have this green check mark, then we know that it's good to go. And it even shows us exactly who is hosting our domain. We're going to give it a few more minutes and wait for the status to say success. All right, so that only took about 3 minutes for me to set that up. And so now it's letting us go on to step 3. This is going to be similar to step 2 because we're going to add another CNAME record and we have another name and another value. So the same thing as before, we're only going to include the subdomain. So if you have www, that's all you want to include. If you have courses.testlaunches.com or whatever, that's the only part that you want to highlight and copy. So we're going to go ahead and copy this, go over to GoDaddy and add our second CNAME record. So we're going to choose CNAME for the type. For the host, we're going to put www. I'm going to come back over and get the whole entire value, just like we did in step 3. Come back over here, paste that into the points to field and click Save. So now we have updated our second CNAME record, and again, we just need to wait for the status to say success. And it's going to take a few minutes again, and again, the same thing. I would say maybe 30 minutes at the most, but it does say to allow at least 2 hours, and it could take up to 24 hours. What we can do is go back up here to the same link and just type in the website just like this and do CNAME lookup. It'll still tell us if it worked or not. So this is the record that I just added. We still have a green check mark here. It's showing the value that I added, so I know that it was set up correctly. Again, we just have to wait for it to finish propagating through the system, And then this will change to success, and then we'll be able to go on to step 4. All right, so that one took about 10 minutes to process, but now it says go live, and all we have to do is just click go live with testlaunches.com. And it says, are you sure you want to go live? We'll click OK. And then it says, we're activating your custom domain. Please give us at least 5 to 10 minutes to let this change take effect. Eventually, it's going to show my new custom domain. Now, even though you have that set up, this original Membervault URL is still going to work. And now we see that it's been changed to testlaunches.com. So that is how you set it up. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to help you out.